Science. Thank you for joining Science Broadcast, brought to you by Fifth Dimension. As you can tell, I'm back. That was not fun. Has positives, but connected to the Atlanteans. That's good. I'm going to bring some of that in. I'm not sure about tonight. Well, probably, yeah. Atlantean magicians. I'm going to go. I mean, I don't want to make it all about that. I want to kind of diverse a little bit. It is an old story, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. The UFO, the cigar-shaped. They say, I mean, the military say it's not military. So, is this a slight disclosure there? And these are going to be just little pieces of this are going to start being scattered out as we go into a transition. It's just going to be. Let's see here. Yeah, as you know, change is never easy. And realize that you can psychically connect to these beings. Now, think about all those that are going to storm Area 51. They can, mentally, and they technically are connecting to it mentally. They're just not realizing it. And as more people connect mentally to these ships being, or of course the beings are here, you just don't see them. As more you allow that to occur, the more the energies on the earth shift. And of course, it doesn't have to be a million people. Eventually, it will be, but it's basically more accepting of the unknown. And of course, some aren't going to like it. Now, all opinions matter, obviously, but all versions of a story matter too. Now, you might not connect to that version of it, but everything has, a play. It's like like you eat cake or eat ice cream. Not everybody's going to, feel the same way about it. It's the same thing with everything else. So being, it's just the way it is. It doesn't make anyone better or not, no one better than anybody or anything like that. But it's just it's a point of view, and those are the hardest ones to dissect. Yeah, this is going into a whole new generation of thinking, reality, where humanity opens up more to the higher dimensions and realize you're not alone here, but also psychically connecting to it. Obviously, Area 51, running into that is another way of finding yourself. It's kind of like it's another way of finding who you come from, where you come from, the alien side of yourself. And it's a strange way of finding it, but the more that you believe in your psychic connections, it's weird. It is, yes, it is as out there as it can get. Well, yeah, it goes into magician energies when magicians start appearing here. It's just like a slow disclosure that's going to be bizarre, but also a new Earth for sure. Maybe not the new Earth that's been advertised on what's her name, whatever her name is, I've forgotten. But either way, that the old lady. It's not going to be exactly accurate to that. Yeah, it's like a new taboo. It's a new, like people are vaping and they're getting sick from that. You have a big surprise there. People are doing pot more, but how about you mix your pot and your aliens and you get, there eventually to be maybe alien channeling stores. That would be interesting. They already have psychic stores, but people would go to see a channeling. That would become more accurate over time. Of like you have poetry night and you have alien night. Depending on people are open to that, that's definitely going to happen eventually. Bashar is doing it, other people are doing, but yeah. Realize anybody can do this. It's not always everybody. If you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't want to do it, obviously. But everyone's capable of it. Doesn't mean it's your mission in life, obviously. And, we're not always going to agree with everything we hear, obviously, but realize also spirits talking to me, as I'm going. But is basically we're in a new era of rewriting, timelines and opening up a new history for our world. from our alien connections, and yes, you're gonna be connecting to. Realize those that are listening to like what's his name, um, Secret Space Program, the Blue Avians, the Blue Chickens, whoever it is. It is also a um, it's like the more you listen to it, eventually connect to your own information. So it's there to find yourself, depending on the person. Some need to listen to all, eventually people find their own connections. So it all has a purpose. Not I might always agree with it. But just like with religion, I mean, you might not agree with the religion, but you are connected to a different God and different energies and a different way of going about it. And, this is the same thing. It's just maybe more complicated. It probably isn't. It might seem like that, but it's the same thing. Like connecting to, I can't think of it, Corey Good stuff and things like that. It's another way. Yeah, they might. I mean, for them, it's rock hard information. Nothing wrong with that. Religion does the same thing. But then again, there's nothing wrong with connecting to your way of life. Because a lot of people are part of a Luther doesn't agree with a Catholic. Probably not. I mean, doesn't mean they fully disagree with each other, but there's a lot of accuracies in both. It's just an all. Figuring all this out it's insane. It's just, but everybody needs their own way of looking at things. Obviously, it's just going to get more bizarre as we go ahead. It's just not in the mainstream conversations yet. Right now, it's going to be once again those that are going to connect to it in the or now, but in the future that are going to show a lot of hate and anger towards it. They don't understand it for various different reasons, but eventually that'll calm down. It might get ugly, possibly, but we're not in that. We're not in that direction yet. Right now, we're just not even noticed for the most part. Even those that are the larger, like the Corey Goods and the larger ones, are still pretty small compared to the larger picture. So obviously they've already had their backlash. But information, take it or leave it. Not everybody's going to agree with it. It's just the way it is. But it is part of growth. It's a major upgrade from the old world. It's like humanity went from what is it? Writing on tablets and scrolls. Then went to the printing press, and now we're going to the alien press. It's like none of those transitions were easy. So it's the same thing. So it just this is let's see here. Message from, they're just gonna call themselves the aliens. That's one way. Just make it general. Alien collective in general. Basically, human consciousness, yes, is letting go of its old ways, old markers, meaning they mark their way of doing things. The belief systems goes back to ancient Egypt. The programming is very ancient. Yes, even some of the hieroglyphs are sending out false information, basically of third dimension way of life. Because remember, they are all beat up and everything's roughed out. Everything's all beat up in Egypt, as you can see. So if you visualize it more fourth dimensionally, or fifth dimensionally, sixth dimensionally, visualizing it, that's where meditation comes in. You see how how the higher beings, or however you want to look at higher beings, but higher dimensional beings looked at things. And humanity, yes, slowly let it go of itself into the third dimension. So you're going from the prehistoric way of looking at life currently. And that's never easy to break from. But it is a new layer of reality that you're going to go back to the pyramids and rebuild it eventually. Make it look all, as you visualize it in your mind. Obviously, you got a long ways for that. But connecting, basically, there's always going to be false information, positive informations. It's a test. It's a test of the mind. You're going into a whole new way of looking at things. It's like revisualizing your Earth at a higher dimensional energy. Anybody can do it. People do it all the time. This can be better, that can be better. That's a more higher vibrational way of looking at things. And you look at your average human, they hear about that, they just laugh and just, obviously they're stuck in their old ways. Nothing wrong with that, but eventually the mainstream's going to eventually hear all this out. They have no choice. Because it's not going away. Yes, you keep talking. Now, maybe not everybody's going to be on the same page. You're not going to be talking to everybody, but either way. New vibrations are coming into the earth. Shifting timelines. Hollywood will change eventually. It has no choice. Because it's going to be playing a fiddle to an empty theater. And people are looking for a bit more radical ideas. Alien is part of it. And when they start doing that, they might show a negative side of it, of course, because that's where they come from, because that's the consciousness where it's at. But eventually they'll start to clear that out and allow more positive energies to come through. So there's obviously alien energies everywhere, you just have to look for it. It's in everything. Egypt is alien, basically. Your past is alien. So it's been buried, constantly being buried. Because those that are controlling the reality, it doesn't always mean it's your Illuminati. A lot of it's just your human consciousness. It just wants to forget, so it can learn the lessons it's here to learn, and then it'll resurrect the past as it's needed, like the Lost Ark, the crystal. Was it the crystal stuff? What is it called? The crystal skulls. Yeah, technically, people can already channel those energies now. Crystal skulls don't really want to be seen, at least the majority of them. There are many more around. Amazon's one location of some of them, not to be found anytime soon. The Amazon is speaking to humans also. Yeah, burn it down because new energies are coming through. Yeah. They're burning down the old vibrations. Hurricane is on its way in certain areas. It's not finished yet, obviously. It's not going to be the big storm it was before, but it is a calling card. There is a conscious healing that's still. Basically, it's like humanity did not learn its lesson from the last hurricane. Here comes another one. So, does the humanity consciousness to shut it down if they wish to. Alright, alright, that's the message. We got a little bit more. We'll go into the next phase. Here it is, U.S. Marine Cigar-Shaped UFO sighting. So this is on August 30th, actually. Yeah, I saw this on the news not recently, actually. So if you want to see looking more into this is probably more detailed. But yeah, we have the military say something about this that's hopefully helpful for some. We'll just leave it at this. Those are new to all this. I'm Tor.com. Our private sessions. We have the availability here. We also have one Hangout channel, Google Hangout, Zoom in channel on my phone. We have the shop here, about 10 days for delivery. And we have the other, we'll just leave it at that. Oh yeah, hurricane. Gotta love it. So according to this, we got another storm out there. So I think it's going to go more out into the Atlantic from what I could feel, but it's a little bit hard to tell right now because it's right now. It's open. Now they had it going into more of Florida. Now they're going to, it's going to go outside. I don't think it's going to. It might turn into a hurricane. It's hard to say. If it is going to be very weak, it'll probably just stay as a tropical storm. But apparently we did not. And it started up around the Bahamas, which is interesting. So, yeah. Get your act together, whatever you guys are doing over there. Yes, the Cayman Islands. I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah, Cayman Islands has a lot of darkness, a lot of Anunnaki energy, a lot of brainwashing vibrations. Basically, it feels that humanity always, those that are controlling humanity's consciousness, always Illuminati, always a version of it. Maybe like the royal family version of it. Yeah, let's see here. The Cayman Islands is once again connected to Atlantis, and there is a positive and negative to it. There is more positives there, but the negative is trying to steer humanity's thinking, control its wealth, and create people like Epstein. There's a lot of controlling energies there. A lot of it is. There is a lot of negative Anunnaki there, actually, but once again, human consciousness makes the final rule of what they want to experience. Possibly the Cayman will be explored more of its banking situation. Is it going to be public? It's hard to say. But there's a lot there. Now it's British controlled, or England, or however you want to look at it. So that puts a lot of end. Also, of course, Bermuda is the same situation. But the Caymans are known for hiding a lot of wealth. Even those in the Pentagon hide their wealth there, which is, I just tapped into that. So, the Pentagon also keeps their eye. So apparently, the Pentagon has a lot of spy agencies there. The Pentagon, not the CIA, have a lot of theirs. I just see spies from the Pentagon there. Keep an eye on stuff. No surprise there when you think about it. So yeah, it's another way of how they bribe people and how they blackmail, but it's mostly bribing that's done in Caymans. So they take people there or somewhere like it and give them everything, and just kind of seduce them to get what they want. You think the CIA be doing that mostly, but I feel the Pentagon doing that, which is kind of out of left field when you think about it. But I guess the CIA can't be. Well, either way, I was not seeing that one coming. Yeah, it's all behind doors, locked doors. Obviously, the Pentagon is known to pay a lot of people off without humanity knowing, or people knowing. So the black budget is very much involved with that. So yeah, you're not going to see that in CNN anytime soon. Yeah, I feel Pentagon very much involved with it. Mexico too, but the Caymans want. Yeah, there's places all over. Caymans definitely. Yeah, parts of Mexico, black money being placed there. Definitely those areas. But obviously, don't trust what Russia is telling you or what's in the news. The news is just propaganda, obviously, ran by the Pentagon, mostly the CIA. Once again, people are slowly waking up to conspiracy. I don't know where they're going most of the time. Nowhere? Most of the human consciousness right now is nowhere. It's kind of stagnant. That's why I think that's another reason why the world feels like it's not going anywhere. Because the majority of the consciousness isn't really growing. It is, but it's not really. It's going backwards or not going anywhere at all. Yeah, it is learning its lessons, but obviously at a very slow rate. But it's doing it's doing everything it can to not move. Now you can say like entertainment, like Netflix, things like that, can somewhat is like a drug on its own, and kind of keep the body from moving forward to a degree. Like excess of anything, like alcohol or any type of drugs, can kind of slow one person down. So like too much television can slow somebody down. Same type of thing. Not to say it's bad or anything, but just saying too much of anything can. And for many, the TV is really slowing people down. So YouTube is actually, and other places like that are actually opening people up. Books, of course. Gets the mind thinking into a new direction. Many are just very complacent. So, TV is kind of changing. Now, you notice how streaming, everything's going to internet TV. Now, even Netflix has a lot of documentaries on there that mainstream television will never have. So, it is showing there is an awakening going on. So, TV's kind of turning into YouTube to a certain degree. Obviously, just any old person can't make it on there, but it is getting a little bit more riskier in what they put out there because to get people to watch. So you see more fairy stuff coming in, more Middle Earth, fairies and goblins and whatever. On the Netflix has the show Bright. Amazon has another show. I forgot the name of it at the moment, but and it looks great. I've seen some of it. It's but it shows that is adding more of the elemental energies there. So it might have a darker tone, but that's our world. Our world's just kind of like a war zone. So you gotta start somewhere. But humanity is, it's basically streaming. The streaming wars is showing that the more alien energies are going to start showing itself there more often online, not on mainstream television. And you're already seeing kind of pieces of it right now. Stranger, you're going to see horror because that's the energy of the planet. Horror is always going to be popular until humanity gets, finally finds a balance. It's always going to. It's always horror is always going to be around to a certain degree, but it's going to be a bit more uplifting over time. But right now, it's more trickster energies. However you want to look at it. Let's see here. Let's see. From the Atlantean, actually, we'll go from the Arturian energies. One moment. Man on the Moon. However you wanted to depict that. Realize many of you astrally or alien have been on the moon many times and know how it works. And the moon isn't exactly as you see it as. Meaning there's a lot of vortexes there, there's a lot of astral energies there. That's not exactly what it really is. It is showing itself as it needs to in this reality, but there's much more to it than that. It does have some deceiving energies because that's the Earth's vibration. So, basically, when the Earth goes into a more positive energy, the Moon will most likely be removed, and another one will be brought in. It's a little bit more positive. So, the Moon right now has a lot of negativity around it. It is pulling in a satellite of negativity from the universe into the Earth. That doesn't mean it's bad, meaning because it is a teacher, like anything else. You don't have to get rid of, destroyed, or anything like that. But when we end it in its cycle, most likely that moon will be removed eventually. So yes, it is. Now once again, it's bringing in a lot of positive also, but there's a lot of deception coming from it too. It is basically a ringleader of your Earth of changing you to, it has diverse energies all through it. It is like Agartha. It is a place, obviously in the different dimensions, it has many, vibrations there, but it is part of Earth's ascension. You wonder why the world is the way it is. It is, yes, keeping third dimension at its vibration. Yes, can't remove the moon. It can't, obviously. Now, many aliens can, but it won't occur anytime soon. You have to learn its lessons. The lessons of the moon. You learn the lessons of the moon. It will change color, change vibration. It won't move on anytime soon, but you will see it in a different color and a different light eventually. It is a spell on the planet like anything else here. You're going to see questioning everything in your reality. That's the point of being here. Is seeing the different dimensions. It is teaching you the test of third dimension, how hard it can be. And of course, the moon isn't the only piece of this, but it plays a big part in it. It is pulling lessons from the universe into your world. Your world decides what you want to learn, what you want to go through, and yes, you bring in everything here. Yes, you brought in the zombies. You brought in the apocalyptic worlds because it's kind of a reflection of yourselves, what's going on right now, and also to show that there are other versions of Earth you can connect to. You're to break. It's another way of breaking away from your old way of looking at things. The different versions of Earth is also another way of showing there are other possibilities that you can exist here. Now, technologies have showed you can change the environment. It hasn't been a major technology change occurred just yet, such as space travel, but it's slowly being brought in. Your cars are changing too. There's much going on that's not on the surface, but as you change, your technology shift with you. But the consciousness is going to break free. Now, many are, yes, paranoid of many different things. That is because many their energies are stagnant, meaning they're not ready to move past that. They have all this drama, which is fine for that. What works for you? Because in terms of entertainment, it's what you need to hear. But many of you have moved past all of that. Yes, it's boring on the other side because they don't have all that drama. Yes, there's major soul growth in drama. Obviously, there's different versions of drama that many just do not want to experience. Maybe, yes, as you go up the dimensions, it becomes not as exciting. So, yes, the mythology, the fantasy world people are creating right now, secret space program fantasies, it's what's needed right now. So who are we, as alien beings, to get to remove that for you? It's for you to choose that. What do you want in your reality? Yes, you realize you can also, it's like, I like the adventure of the drama, of the alien drama, but I realize that that's all it is. The aliens are laughing their asses off too. It's like, that's really interesting. We don't want to experience that, but it's fascinating. They find humanity very fascinating because of the mythology, the creations you come up with. Not to say it's bad or anything like that, but it's a warning piece for them. Show how interesting your world truly is. You don't always see it, because humans here get bored of their own creations very easily. Not always, but some do get. It's like, wow, that was interesting. But they don't realize the creativity and the magnificence of what you invented here with your own mythology. That's currently going on right now. Just to what people are seeing. Many are inventing, but it's fascinating for the alien world to see that. Yes, because the Zetas are doing this, the aliens are doing that. It's all kind of fascinating for many. Realize if you move out of that drama energy and you see the world from a different perspective, it's quite fascinating. Yes, it is. It's not exactly boring in the higher dimensions, but it isn't as. It's exciting, but not in the same way. It's basically so you can tap into more simpler vibrations and see how your structures are created, how humanity has found itself into this place right now. Basically, humanity at this moment wants to see the prehistoric side of them graduate. Many are not willing because they realize you're human. You're not always realizing you're connected to your ancestors on a daily basis. And you want to kind of stay in that energy field of a caveman, cave woman, dinosaur, whatever it might be. So moving forward, it's not easy when you're connecting to that type of past, because you might not be thinking about it, but when you tap into it, you'd be surprised what you're connected to. And much of in your consciousness, your main humanity, its main thought patterns, yes, is very old-fashioned because of the prehistoric ideas of when humanity humans were first being developed and realized they can be independent of those that help them be developed. You're pulling energies from your ancient past, so basically independent from your alien friends. And humans being alone here and figuring it all out, the adventure of figuring it out. You're on that timeline. You don't go into your history books and say Atlanteans are assisting humanity being created. There's other beings involved with it, but that's you guys too. Because many of you incarnated as the Atlanteans, but then you incarnated as a human. So, yes, elephant beings are part of human creation on this planet. Many beings are involved with it. Once again, yes, an ostrich and a cow getting together, having children happens on a daily basis, and they are in human form. The more you look at that, yes, dog and cats getting together, marrying each other in human form, and having children. And some of them are ostrich kids. And I think you have an idea where we're going with all that. You're in human form. You are human. You have 5 fingers, all of that. You don't look like a cow. Some people do, not to put out insults. But I believe you understand where we're getting that from. It's what you're coming from. Many do need a large mass because they're used to it. And, yes, it is true that many souls here that have acquired a lot of mass through weight. Some of them, not all of them, some of them just been here for a long time. And it's just it's just the energy. They can't, people have difficulties letting go of weight. It has a lot to do with just energies that you're connected to. It's just you go to the gym every single day and weight is just not coming off. A lot of it has to do with just knowledge. Just knowledge that you feel like you need it. It's not time to let it go just yet. Yes, there's different ways of looking at things. It depends on how you want to perceive it. There's much more. Yes, every human can grow a tree with your mind. Nature can be grown with your mind. Life can become more fluid. Many of you come into this world that, yes, thinks backwards. Because once again, it's a Neanderthal way of life. Well, it's more like your human, prehistoric human that became independent of your Atlantean parents and love that independence, like teenagers. Hey, we're all by ourselves. Now we can go party, we can drink whatever we want, we can do whatever the hell we want, and you're still pulling from that vibration. Wonder why humanity has not really evolved into the alien energies that you've been told about. Fourth dimension is still remembering its old ways. Obviously, there's much more to it than that, but you can say the teenager has not wanted to grow up. And you notice also, many of you that are connected to the aliens are kind of like becoming adults, and your lives aren't that interesting. You are, but you're kind of boring to the teenagers that are drinking, having sex with everybody, going to the movies at 2 o'clock in the morning. We're talking about just your adult humans. And many of your, it's obviously not everyone's going to digest this the same way. But many of you are connected to aliens and for contact aren't really into any of those watching movies at 2 o'clock in the morning in your underwear out in the middle of nowhere, drinking all of this. You're not into any of those things. But guess who is? Most of your society. So as you connect, so you realize what you're up against. A society that wants to stay at the teenager level. And many humans are just, you're not that interesting. You're boring to them. So this is why the alien information, it's like the parents are saying, hey, look at us. And the kids are like, get away from us. That's another way of looking at it. Why it's so hard for humanity to tap into the alien energies. It means they have to grow up. And it's just not that much fun, as you can see. So, yes, because they open up to the alien side and go to other planets and all that. It sounds like fun and everything, but many would rather just be here and drinking and doing their things. And many of you are tired of it, as you can see. That's why many of you are getting depressed. You want something new. You want to go to more of that adulthood, and you are. It's just not easy because you can't talk to anybody about it. Like you're going into that adult human and you have no one to talk to, nobody to relate to. It gets really depressing and lonely, and almost like you want to lose your mind. That's what you're up against at this time. It's not easy being adult, as many of you know that have children. It's not easy. You feel sometimes alone and depressed because your kid won't listen to you. Same thing. So we're just our perspective of your situation. Blessings. That makes so much sense. I got that messages for sure. Alright, much love everyone. Take care.